the sensation of the whole thing, the particles, the sound, the synesthesia.
Have we
It's another
started?
feeling. Oh, we should start that or not yet?
I was just like so scared that you guys started without me.
The
No.
one time betrayed.
I mean, we did have a good starting point. Like 2 minutes ago, there was fireworks happening in the background, and we all assume that you are preparing for Titanfall. What you are dropping in?
That was basically it. Yeah, I had to drive my car like through the window and
To the window.
They were the war right, so you know how.
till they make new Titanfall. We really need to start this podcast at some point.
So let's start now lah.
And the timer is go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to dia.log, the Gamer Matters podcast.
For maximum comfort, we suggest listening to this in an upright position while hanging off the edge of a building.
Understandable.
Okay, the signal is
So you may have noticed we've changed things up a bit. For one, we now have an actual girl on this podcast. Say hello to Farid.
Hello, I'm Farid.
Yeah. And with the rest of the panel, we have, as usual, the lovely Mekronos Ashraf. Meck, say hi.
Hey, I'm not hosting anymore. Seems
Oh.
like
No, this is going somewhere. Trust me. We have Daniel. Say hi.
Hi there.
We have Anan.
Yo.
We have me, Wam. And somehow, because this is what happens when you don't flush your toilet, stuff creeps in, we have Irham.
Every time. Please. I just want a proper intro.
No.
So hello. We are here to discuss the finer points of video games and other shit that happened this week.
and good.
Like influencer milk.
Before we go into the influencer mill, oh boy, stuff you may or may not be hearing in this podcast that have been said within this conversation room.
We will never explain what influencer milk is. We just leave it purely out of no context.
Good, because
It
right.
would be like the 40k cafe again.
Oh boy, and apparently the past 2 weeks, well, last week is a bit quiet, but this week, goodness gracious, man, video games, am I right? Video games.
Bam. Left and right video games.
God damn, there's video
Yeah.
games everywhere, especially on the day of this recording. Ooh.
Oh god, dude. Okay, so for those of you who want some little behind the scenes look, right? We compile the news over the week typically. Like we have 2 weeks between recordings, and usually like by the end of the first week, we kind of know what we're gonna talk about already. We don't have an official list, but we kind of keep track on stuff on our own, right? Then fucking like 3 days ago, suddenly all the news starts coming in, and we've basically rewritten the docket. Like, holy shit! So much shit happened this past 2 weeks. We have also. This is technically the Valentine's episode because Valentine's happens on our off week. So we already read everyone's horoscopes. We're all fucking losers. So
Okay.
so if
You
you're
can start
spending
roasting yourself,
Valentine's
though.
Day, if you're spending Valentine's Day alone, just know we, the dia.log crew, are alone as well.
Well, I'm not.
Oh!
Get the fuck off my podcast.
The door is
What?
over there. Okay, at least we have someone to rub that in on us. But, hey, video games, am I right? Let's start off with one thing that I played. I dabbled in a lot of things. I touch a bit on Wargroove, but not too much to be ready to talk about it. Just to say that Wargroove, that strategy game that looks sort of like Advance Wars, is pretty good. I just played 2 hours and I could say that it's pretty good. Hard, but it's pretty good.
Which one is Wargroove?
The one that looks like
the
Advance
one where
War.
you jumping.
No, you control small. It's a pixel art looking game. You have tiny soldiers you can move around, and then you clash, and then there's an animated screen of two units battling. And it has a good dog. It has a very good dog.
Is he a JPEG though? Oh, okay. This is Wargroove.
It's a very animated dog. You can control that dog. That dog is a hero, and it has an ability you can control.
All dogs are heroes.
So, I'm not going to talk
JPEG dog.
about that, unfortunately. Next episode, possibly. I'm going to talk about one thing that I did spend time, and I actually liked it. To some degree. It's called this little indie game called Anthem.
Ah, yeah, it's from this new studio called Bioware, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this new shooter studio. I heard that studio of the same name used to make good RPGs, Western RPGs with great writing. But now
No, that's Obsidian.
Oh, Obsidian, I see. So yeah.
Yeah.
So to cut it short, I played Mass Effect Andromeda a lot to know that it is a disappointing game, but the combat is good. I will always going to stand on the ground that Mass Effect Andromeda's combat is good enough for it. Apparently, that's the only good thing about it. So when I went into Anthem, seriously, it's like Mass Effect Andromeda with Iron Man suits. It's not even Destiny like Mass Effect Andromeda with Iron Man suits. The combat.
I was gonna.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so it's like Mass Effect Andromeda without the plot, but that's already Mass Effect Andromeda.
No, you
Pretty
bring
much, yeah.
you bring a good point because the if I want to give you a summary of the plot points of Anthem, you can interchange it with Mass Effect Andromeda. One, there's a alien thing that seems to control there's an alien technology that you do not know, that the people there do not know how to harness it. So it's a very mysterious thing. Two, that ability has the power to shape-shift the world. Three, apparently before the whole thing happened, it seems that you, the guy, the freelancer, seems to have like it implies that there was some rough things happen at the intro. And lastly, the whole banter is like, oh, cheery, banter, haha, funny. It is very much like the tone is like Andromeda's writing.
Can I like just quickly add in my experience with Anthem, because you're describing this, right? Because I played Anthem for a grand total of 5 minutes.
I think your opinion is
very
valid.
impressive.
Go on.
Now we know it's a professional opinion.
Very informed
Very
opinion.
professional. Certified.
No, but you see,
Very
Okay,
there is a reason it was for 5 minutes. It's because the first mission they gave you fucking drags. Holy shit.
Oh, the mission is just boilerplate. Go here, attack this, go
They
there.
don't even let you choose a mech suit. That's what pisses me off the most.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
they do let you unlock one suit after you reach level 12, but yeah, it's still a pain. You have to go through. But at least that one suit is actually good to understand all the mechanics, because I tried the big boy Colossus, and oh boy, despite looking like a very good boy, a chonking good boy, I have no idea how to control it. I keep on dying on first sight. It's the mechanics seems like the different classes, the different suits, the different javelins seems to have very distinct abilities and different play styles that you do not just go and play. Oh, it's just a change of appearance. No, it literally changes how you play. So yeah, okay, story. Don't play Anthem for the story. Never play.
story?
there is nothing
Hello?
of importance. Yeah.
Did I DC?
No.
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 No. You're here. You're here. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Uh,
back. I'm back.
so, but what was the point? Even the missions are a bit, as I said, a bit boilerplate. Okay, go here, defend here, attack this group, and then go here, and then go back there, and then do some simple puzzles. The highlight of the demo is the end game thing, the stronghold mission, and boy, as that is a very well designed mission, but that thing being put it into the end game might be a little bit worrying, because the main thing you do is not that interesting, but you have to wait until the end game, until you have reached the level cap to get to the good stuff, which is
See, here's the thing, right? Because I was playing this with my brother, and I said, you compare this to Warframe's like intro mission, right? Warframe's intro mission is literally, hey, you pick a Warframe. You see these 3 dudes, kill them.
Pick a
Here,
weapon.
take a sword.
Mm.
Take a sword. Now learn to stab them. Take a gun. Learn to shoot them. It's like, congratulations, you've learned everything. Now kill everyone else in this room and get to your ship.
where
Like,
we
that's half an hour of the game.
Like,
Like this one
Like
is
less.
so. This one is so like draggy in comparison, because you literally like, we need you to go to this place. Huh? The door is locked. Quirky banter. Quirky banter.
I
You
mean,
should go to this camp and kill some dudes. I'm just like,
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
compared to Destiny 2, I think.
I should point out, I played Destiny 2 for 5 minutes as well, and then quit for the same reason.
Bruh,
Oh my
at
god,
least
same
the
here.
intro isn't
We should,
100 gig
very
gone.
that long.
we
The
should, we should
intro-
all apply for lead writer at Bungie and EA.
Mm.
Their job is very easy.
How dare you?
I mean, take it all of that away. The open world is very gorgeous. It's well designed. One problem, if you go, there are interiors that you need to go, and when you go there, there's a loading screen, which spoils the mood. I thought this was an open world, Bioware. That's not an open world.
Sounds like
Open
Final
downloading
Fantasy 15.
world.
It's annoying, because there's literally that first mission one that you play. Then you have to go into this cave, go into a loading screen, go there, do nothing, go back out, and then another loading screen. It's annoying. It should have been just a seamless transition. And it doesn't
Yep,
even
yep.
indicate that, oh, you are going to a loading screen. And if you are left behind from the squad, good thing is you'll be teleported to the squad. So that's okay. But the problem is when you are first playing and you know nothing about the game, and then you get, I'm control zoop loading screen. Zoop. It spoils the mood. But after going through the hell of the mission arc they gave like 3 missions, right? I went into free play. Free play has a lot of the technical problems that they say they know and will fix on launch, so I will not complain about that. But there were issues such as I cannot get into the free play session for so long, and then when I managed to get into it, it won't let me leave for so long.
So nak banyak sangat, okay dah. Now you can't leave.
But still, those things they mentioned that they know and they've already fixed it for the launch of the full game. Never mind that. But when you go into the open world, just seeing around, just like just treating it like a sort of like a Destiny, and it feels good in terms of using the jetpack, flying through the air, flying through the world. It feels good. It has this heftiness that I liked. And the shooty bits, as I mentioned, is a lot like Mass Effect Andromeda. You have the dash, you have the jump jets, you can float while you're shooting. That's the best thing, you can float.
Sounds like Titan.
Not yet, not yet. Not yet, please. We do not want to trigger something too early. The abilities also is sort of like Mass Effect, but apparently it ties into the gear system. So you don't have the abilities you get is basically also loot in terms of oh, you can get this attachment as a flamethrower or change it into poison darts. So there's some variety over there. Combos are good. I really like that concept and I still like it. And the whole customization, that's the best thing. The customization of the javelins. I haven't seen a game that so focused on giving different textures on a skin. You can put a metal texture, you can put rubber on this. It just makes very little changes, but I still appreciate
Destiny
it.
2.
Destiny 2 requires those shaders, right? You can
Yup.
One use shader.
Anthem also has these things called vinyls, but outside of that, you can change the colors of each part individually a la Warframe. They took that good lesson from Warframe. I like that part because it reminds me of Warframe. That's it.
So I have to bring out something about the suit abilities, because again, I feel bad constantly comparing it to Warframe, but when you make your game like Warframe, you can't be faulted when someone says it's kind of like Warframe. Because your alt, quote unquote alt, is like your shoulder cannon thing, right? For the basic suit.
Yeah,
that
the
they give you.
Ranger. The Ranger. Mm.
Do you know how disappointing it is when you build up that alt meter? They're like, your alt is ready, and it's literally just like a rocket launcher. Like
Justice race over.
when you press 4 on Excalibur, you get a giant light sword that blinds people and kills bosses. You get a victory button. Like every
Kill
Warframe's
switch.
out.
The kill switch.
Exactly.
Press 4 to
Exactly. Yeah, I actually have a guys. I have a painting called "Press 4 to Win." I sell it at conventions.
God damn it!
Oh my god.
That
Plug.
plug.
But yeah. So this is my problem with like Anthem's look, right? It's like they chose the most boring thing you could do with future space mechs on alien world thing. It's like, no, we've gone military, like utilitarian, like even Destiny is like kind of fantasy, right?
Yep.
So and Warframe is like full on like what the hell is going on here?
Like for
I have a
full on
space
fantasy,
mummy.
sci-fi.
I have a space mummy that turns into a tornado. Why? Because it's cool.
Why not?
And then Anthem is like poison darts.
Hey, that poison
Yeah,
dart
sorry,
is
sorry.
very good, man. It does good
Is it as good as
damage.
Saren's poison? Didn't think so.
Seriously, but still, even though I like Anthem I like Anthem very much from the perspective of someone who likes Mass Effect Andromeda's combat. I think that's a very big important point to say, because what Wam said is also valid. I'm not going to argue with that, but I'm going to say Anthem. I have low expectation of Anthem. I thought this is going to be shit Warframe as shit as it. Maybe that's true. It is shit Warframe. But it's a good Mass Effect Andromeda. It's a good Mass Effect Andromeda. Let's go
Okay,
on that
that's
angle.
it.
You try too much.
It's good Mass Effect Andromeda. I like that. I think we can agree on that. It's good Mass Effect
Interesting.
Andromeda.
Seriously.
Shit Warframe.
It won't stand to toe with Warframe. Okay, so if I put a tier list on like my personal list of looter shooter tier list, S tier Warframe, A tier Gap, B tier Anthem, maybe the Division, C tier Gap, D tier Destiny. Subject to change.
So wait, where's Borderlands on this list? Because it really did kick off the looter shooter.
Borderlands should be A, but we'll wait until the eventual Borderlands 3. So probably A tier would be there. But
Make sure the game is like within 4 to 3 years valid.
Hmm.
we'll wait and see. We've heard some things about Borderlands 3. But that's my totally definitive for today only looter shooter tier list. And that should be our talk on Anthem. So yeah, it's okay to hate it. I don't mind, but I really like it as a Mass Effect game.
I'm glad someone's like batting for it. Like
I mean,
because I think it's a little cool to hate on Anthem, but at the same time it's just like you're jumping into a genre that doesn't need more competition because you're competing with Warframe, which constantly reinvents itself, and Destiny 2, which is it's
Pay to
there.
win.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, one last thing. I don't see anything new that Anthem bring to the genre. Even the storytelling.
Exactly.
That's a big concern that I would also give it. But as a ordinary generic looter shooter, I think it's just fine. You won't be doing gangbuster, would be just fine.
It's the boss. You've done boss fights, right?
Yeah.
How are they?
How do I describe it? I think it feels like a boss fight, I guess. It has phases. Like the end game is basically going into a spider cave or something like that. There's a giant spider, apparently they call it scorpions. Ah, and there are how you say it, there are not tiers, segments of the health bar. So and then sometimes it'll be coming. You will get to learn the patterns basically. There is a pattern to it.
Okay, that's good then.
So that's the end game is great, but I'm afraid that only the end game is great, and I don't think as an end game that should not be an end game thing.
Mm.
But still, overall, I still like Anthem. Maybe not enough to buy it on day one. So yeah, let's move on then.
I played this. Speaking of indie games, we played a lot of indie games this week, right? I
Yep.
played this really cool indie game. It's called Kingdom Hearts. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Mm.
So first of all, like obligatory, like shout out to Sony for the free copy of Kingdom Hearts because yeah, I have a review pending on this, so be sure to check that out when it comes out. So Kingdom Hearts, I don't even know where I'm gonna start with this. So you guys just hit me with a question, and I'll hope that it sparks a rant.
Okay.
Within 2019 games. Right. Why wouldn't there be Japanese dub, English sub button options?
Because Disney sucks ass. Next question.
Speaking of Disney,
Uh,
Go on,
speaking of
Farid.
Disney,
Yeah.
how many? Okay, how big of like a crossover span is this? How many IPs are we seeing in Kingdom?
Not nearly enough. Okay, so that's a good point. So in Kingdom Hearts 2, there's a fucking shit ton of worlds, right?
mhm.
Like, and they're not just it's not just there's a lot of worlds, they're niche worlds. Like fucking there's a Tron world in Kingdom Hearts 2.
God damn, that
No,
was the
no,
best
not
one.
even-
Tron.
Not even Tron Legacy. It was 1980s Tron with
Tron.
Nice.
Or as the
Yeah.
Japanese like to
Right.
call it, Toron.
right?
Toron
So there's
bola.
like some niche shit in Kingdom Hearts 2, right? Kingdom Hearts 3 has like
Frozen.
no, it's
Frozen
again,
Land.
it's not.
hold-
It's just that it does not have many worlds. One,
Okay.
and all the worlds are like Disney's good boy list. So you
Yeah.
have
Right.
Frozen, you have
Mm.
Tangled, you have
Pirates of the
Big Hero
Caribbean.
6. Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean is the closest thing to like an old world that they have. Oh, and Hercules, yeah, and Hercules and Pirates are like the throwback ones. I guess even Pirates, because didn't a Pirates movie just come out?
Yeah, 2 years
God.
ago.
Yeah,
Mm,
so
that explains.
Pirates is so they're all recent worlds. Like they're all in Disney's list, and it just feels I have to point out though, my fucking the Frozen world, they play Let It Go in its entirety.
Oh god. Oh my god. They finally freaking did it. And we keep on screaming Under the Sea was not in full. Now we got Let It Go.
You get the whole thing, and I cannot confirm this. I think parts of the cutscene actually use the cinematic footage, like the movie footage.
Yes.
Because
it looks
some of
similar.
them,
It looks similar.
yeah,
Wow.
the footage looks much higher quality than the others. So I'm just like, holy fucking shit! Like
Damn.
You know, like what
Disney
happened in
went all in
the
on this. They were like, you better fucking put Let It Go in the game, Square. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3, like, I feel like there wasn't much exploring to do. It feels very linear, despite the fact that you do get to choose the order of certain worlds, but it still feels very linear because there's only one optional world, and it's Winnie the fucking Pooh.
the
Oh.
story was always this bad.
I'm not sighing about
The
Winnie the
best.
Pooh. I'm sighing about the optional world.
Optional, quote unquote
Yeah.
optional world.
Huh.
Yeah, there's not many Keyblades either because each Keyblade has the super forms and you know what pisses me off? There's no Oblivion and Oathkeeper in this game. I
Yeah.
hate that. I
Oh.
hate that so much because okay, so for those of you who don't know, there are no Final Fantasy characters in this game either, and the reason given was that they want to tell Sora's story, and having Final Fantasy characters would be too cluttered and not tell Sora's story. If we're telling Sora's story, why do we not have the fucking Keyblades that literally represent the people in his life? Because Oblivion is supposed to represent Riku and Oathkeeper is supposed to represent Kairi, and fucking they're not in the game. They're not in the fucking game. Like what?
Oh,
I'm
boy.
so mad. Because Oathkeeper is like my favorite Keyblade. So yeah. I'm just like, why? Why would you not have these? Game.
Oh yeah,
So,
what about the
yeah.
combat? You had strong opinions last time we talked about the combat in Kingdom Hearts 3. So has anything changed from the demo we played?
I feel like they have because the controls feel a lot tighter.
Ah, thank God.
So it feels less floaty now. It feels
Less
like even
clunky.
running up the walls, you can kind of angle a bit now, so you don't. It's not purely 90-degree angles that you run at.
Yes.
But what else? What else is there? There are some problems. Boss fights in this game suck fucking ass.
Easy.
Oh, holy shit! Like most of the bosses mostly have the same strategy, which is run off camera and hit you from off camera.
Huh.
And lock
Sounds
on
like
will not
a-
save you from this, because the moment they're off camera, the lock on disengages. So I'm just like, thanks, lock on. You literally had one job, to be locked
One
on.
purpose. The fear of having to log on every single time is oof.
It's not great. Some of the boss fights are better than the others, but I feel there are no great boss fights in this game. At best, you have passable boss fights. Oh, and because one more thing, fucking fuck Pirates of the Caribbean world. I hate that world with
Ships.
a burning passion. Here's the thing, right? It really feels like they went like, oh, people really like Assassin's Creed, so we're gonna put ship battles in this game too. But here's the problem. I've spent the entire game like building, my moves for Sora and all. Now they're like, no, you mostly use your ship, which has its own like skills and stuff. So all your progression as Sora doesn't matter in this game.
Huh.
And there's a fucking boss fight, like easily worst boss fight, garbage tier boss fight. So glad it was over. It's against a ghost fleet, I guess, ? Because you're traveling to this location and this big boat with this red orbs on it comes out, and it has a fleet of smaller boats, which are the normal enemies that you fight while traversing the world. And so, standard, right? Kill the jobbers, kill the big boat. So kill the jobbers, get in close to kill the big boat, it teleports away. It just disappears. And then it reappears behind you with all the jobbers brought back to life, and they all shoot at you at the same time immediately after teleporting.
Classic.
This is
Classic.
and you have no heals in ship form.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's bad.
It's so fucking bad. And there's no limit to how often they can do this. So every single time that I get the big ship like isolated, it just teleports away into a more advantageous spot and fucking beats the shit out of my ass. Like I was on the floor, like in pain,
What
trying to
difficulty you
clear this
playing?
boss.
What difficulty you playing?
Normal.
Boo.
I'm playing on normal.
Imagine playing on a legendary.
Oh,
Fuck
legendary.
that noise. I'm not.
the
Proud
harder.
mode.
It's not
Ah,
legendary.
It's not
Honorable
proud.
Proud mode.
Is it proud? Proud mode.
Yeah, proud is the hardest one you can play at the start. I don't know if there's any other ones, but
You
Some.
literally have to farm yourself, get your brain running,
Mhm.
just to play the World of Warship version 1.0.
Oh no, god.
yeah, fuck that so much. And then I think my favorite world so far is the Big Hero 6 one, because it's like here's a huge city, you can parkour off of everything.
You can
Like, it's a
fly.
very-
You can fly.
Yeah, I didn't unlock flying until very much later in the game. I'm like hilariously underleveled, by the way. I beat the game at level
Wow.
38.
So you like parkouring to the ceilings and stuff.
Level what again?
I beat the game level 38. So
Damn.
Wow.
Very
That's
Same.
under level.
Really under
Very
level.
rich.
yeah. So what's this? But the problem with Big Hero 6 is I'm not gonna tell you what the final boss is because that's a huge spoiler.
Yep.
But the final boss is boring as shit because it's a bullet hell segment. Where you spend the entire
Oh.
fight just holding down R2 and avoiding projectiles.
I
Sounds like
wanted
me,
to
yeah.
be hype about bullet hell. Why is everyone saying? How come a bullet hell is bad? I mean, it can be a bad bullet hell, but still.
Also, one final thing before we move away from Kingdom Hearts talk, because I don't want to run the clock too much, right? But fuck Kairi. Kairi is a shit character. I hate her so much.
Thank you so much.
Kairi is the most boring character. She has no personality whatsoever.
So
She
obnoxious.
exists just for Sora to jerk off to before he goes to bed. Like that's
I know nothing of the Kingdom Hearts series. I know the plot is convoluted, but what I do know is Kairi's personality is about as rich as a piece of cardboard because they just don't develop it.
yeah, because she exists purely to be in danger, so Sora saves her.
So she's the not McGuffin, the what's the damsel in distress.
The devil is
Yeah.
trope.
I mean, sure, in Kingdom Hearts 1, she was a princess. So, huh. I mean,
God,
Kingdom
that's
Hearts
just bad
2
writing.
is also, she's
it's
just there as just nothing. I mean, she's just there to be there.
Just put it as she has
Yeah.
no
Oh,
value.
then don't forget she gets a Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 2 as well.
I mean, she
Yeah,
did
that's-
nothing about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
what
I
are you
was
talking
hyped about it. Oh, she's going to do something. The game ends.
0.2 baby.
Oh, thank goodness I
That's-
don't like this series.
The story
Yeah,
was
there's
always
a-
this bad.
The story has always been. That's the same thing. Like, because she's supposed to give like Sora like motivational speeches in Kingdom Hearts 3 as well to like get over whatever it is, and I'm just like, you literally have no chemistry. You are saying nothing that only you could be saying. You are saying the most generic. Like, she's practically reading off a greeting card, being like, Sora, you can do it. Do better. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Oh my
there's a
god.
scene where one of the villains is taunting Sora, and it's a villain he's never met before, and yet this guy feels like he has more of a connection to Sora than Kairi does. I'm just like, ugh. That being said, when the game isn't telling Sora's story, it's actually pretty funny. Like the writing is actually pretty good. It's on point. Sora gets no respect the entire game from anyone.
Nice.
Oh man, what a sandbag. All right. So
There's a fucking versus 13 joke and Sora compares himself to like this proto Noctis. And he's like, I kind of look like him, right? And they're like, no, you don't, you fucking idiot. I was like, you know who does look like him? Riku. Riku would be a great video game protagonist. And he's like, what?
Mm,
So yeah, that's Kingdom Hearts 3. I know it sounds like I'm being harsh on it, mostly because I am, but there is good stuff in this game. It's just that the bad stuff is very overpowering.
Okay. Okay, so one last thing. If someone is a Kingdom Hearts fan, should they play Kingdom Hearts
Yes.
3? Okay.
Just get closure. Like play Kingdom Hearts 3 if you want closure on the story, because it does wrap up the spin-offs. Okay, minor soapbox. Square Enix. We need to talk about what it means to use the word spin-off. Because a spin-off should be an offshoot of a story that is not necessary to the main plot, but is a fun bit of trivia to know. Like, for example, give me a movie. Yeah, so Toy Story. If
Yeah.
you had a spin-off of Toy Story, would be Rex Goes on an Adventure, and it takes place between Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 2. But he's back by the end of Toy Story 2, and nothing from that spin-off adventure affects the plot of Toy Story 2. That's a spin-off. None of the spin-offs in the Kingdom Hearts series are treated like spin-offs. They are treated like sequels, because there is shit directly referenced. Like, if you played the games, good for you, because then you don't have to be brought back up to speed. But if you did not play the mobile game, the 3DS game, the DS games, then good luck, buddy, because this game makes very few or the PSP game. Don't forget the PSP game. That's also very relevant to the plot.
Everything is quite relevant.
Everything.
It's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just watch the 3-hour lecture on YouTube.
Yeah, same.
Kingdom Hearts 101. Best guy ever.
All you need to know.
But yeah, so if you are a fan of Kingdom Hearts, then you've probably built a tolerance for the stupidity of Kingdom Hearts. So yeah, enjoy the game. Like, seriously, go enjoy the game. You'll probably enjoy it more than I did. But yeah, if you're not like knee deep in that ecosystem, then I would advise like possibly reconsidering. Hearts in darkness, and hearts and darkness, and hearts and darkness.
Hearts.
More darkness.
Yeah, and some darkness too. Don't forget that. Very important. Very important.
Yep.
Okay, I'm looking at a lot of Sora selfies. Way too much, so we should move on.
Oh yeah.
On that point, I want to propose for the thumbnail, we should have Sora selfie on something as a template. We'll figure it out later. But
Yep.
it should have
We'll figure
Sora
it
on.
out.
Alright. Next
thing, I feel like we have so many topics this week that I actually have opinions on, unlike the usual where I shut up. So I'm apologize in advance if there's a bit too much of one's opinion here.
Nah, it's okay.
One power armor.
Yep.
One redemption
Power
arc.
Yeah.
I've done nothing wrong yet. No need for that.
No
Yeah.
need to hide.
It has been how many days since one went to jail? We should do a
It's
counter
been
with
a
that.
while. We should put an account for how long it takes for me to go to internet jail again. I feel like before, rather than I drag on, Farid, did you play any games this week?
Oh, actually, I've picked up this game that just released around sometime the end of last year, and I've been hyped for this game for 4 years when it first released as an Xbox One exclusive, Sunset Overdrive.
From the makers of Spyro the Dragon.
And from the makers of Spyro the Dragon.
Yep. There's no such thing as an exclusive game here. Not someone in a red suit. No.
It's a lot of whiplash when you think of Spyro the Dragon, and then this game peppers fuck every 3 sentences, you know?
Yes.
Well, don't forget there's that mascot platformer that's made by From Software.
The Adventures of Cookie and Cream.
Yeah. It's like
AKA Kuri Kuri Mix. I think we've name
Shit.
dropped that like 3 or 4 times throughout our coverage
Exactly.
of the podcast.
Obligatory.
now
Obligatory
The
mention
first
for
of this
cookies.
year. For this year, this is the first time.
Well, you
Mhm.
gotta name drop it for every episode. Then it's just your brand now.
Well, that's on the thumbnail.
That's on the thumbnail.
Put it in.
Okay, sorry for
But-
interrupting you. Yeah, go.
It's no
Okay.
problem.
Oh,
But yeah, the reason I was so hyped for Sunset Overdrive like 4 years ago when it first released, when I saw the trailer and when it was released on E3, was the fact that it looked very refreshing compared to every other games of its genre. I mean, the nearest I could compare it to probably would be like, what's the name of the game? Dead Rising? Was it?
Yeah, Dead Rising.
Sure.
I mean, you can ride on a tricycle in Dead Rising and run around, but still everything around you is just the generic zombies with blood all over them. This game, it takes like those enemies designs, just the designs in a whole completely new level. And as someone who's a visual artist as well, it's very refreshing to see something that isn't the same color of like the same navy blue and bright orange that we see in almost every video game.
The striking color combination Hollywood loves.
The blue
Yep.
and orange.
Either it's the cyan orange combo or it's beige. So to have
Oh,
something
Unreal
that
Brown. That's what. It's
Oh
called.
yeah, Unreal Brown. Yes.
Unreal Brown, prequel to Fortnite Purple.
Oh,
Color of the year 2018.
the new Pantone color, Fortnite purple.
Mm.
No, we're not joking about the Pantone color though. But the Fortnite part we joking. The purple one was true. Okay.
But yeah, it's a very visually striking game, and like I'll be honest, I only just finished the main quest like earlier, like around 4 hours ago. So shortly
Mm.
before the podcast, I was like, okay, I need to have something to talk about. I better actually finish this game.
Okay.
Uh,
That's the effort we have for our guests. Only the best quality on dia.log, the Gamer Matters podcast.
Yes.
but it says a lot about how much plot it actually has if I wanted to focus on the plot, because I focus on just the main quest, and my total playtime is just 18 hours.
Okay.
This game
Mm.
does not have a plot. It has a plot, but it feels more like Mad Libs. If anything, you're just like, okay, you're trying to guess what the plot of the game is okay. A company that makes, and then you check, you try and roll a dice. Okay, a company that makes energy drinks, and then you throw a dart. Suddenly turns everybody into zombies. It it feels completely random, and it doesn't tie in much, but the game makes up for it with its visuals
Mm-hmm.
as well as its gameplay, I feel, because this is a game that you start off with running around on the ground like some kind of standard goof when you're supposed to be on the air all the time. You're supposed to be riding the rails, you're supposed to be grinding on everything, you're supposed to be running on the walls. It's basically like parkouring everywhere, except you can actually parkour everywhere and not just run into an invisible wall.
Mhm.
Funnily enough, you do actually run an invisible wall somewhere around the plot,
Oh,
and the
okay.
game is frighteningly self-aware in the case that it keeps joking about the fact that it is a game. You can see hints of this when first in the actual trailer, where the
yeah.
protagonist, yeah. In the game itself, there are literally there was this one boss fight where you had to whittle down the health of a dragon. And literally, the finishing blow was you jumping up, grabbing one of the parts of the HUD, and just stabbing through its head with it.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Bravo.
Yeah.
The last character to do that was Deadpool in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
Can I
remember
say,
that. So.
quick side note on that. I hate that super because it's a counter. You can't just use it. You have to like actually like predict your opponent is about to hit you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not something that you can pull off easily, but when it works, man, that's just amazing. It only works because of its Deadpool. And I guess for Sunset Overdrive, the fourth wall is basically non-existent.
Yeah,
I think
pretty
it's the
much.
fourth wall.
There is no
There's no
forward.
Yeah, that's why.
Huh.
literally at one point they was asking, so what's your name? And then the character just looks behind you, behind them, and looks at the screen and says, "Okay, what's my name?"
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so we're looking at like on a scale of like Undertale to like, because Undertale is also pretty self-referent,
Mhm.
self-aware as well. So how close is it to that? I guess 'cause that's the only game I can think of.
Here's the thing: Undertale is self-referential in a way that it ties to the plot, such as with how Sans is self-aware of the many timelines there are.
Yep.
This game is, I'd say, this game is just the less vulgar version of Saints Row.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's
Fair
basically Saints
comparison.
Row, but without just a bit notched down.
Yeah, it's
9
not.
out of 10.
Yeah, so
There's
if
still dick
Saints
jokes,
Row,
just less.
Saints Row like goes ham on vulgarity,
Mm.
while Sunset Overdrive goes ham on how little it takes itself seriously. There was a heroic speech where by the way, the name of our character is literally just player,
Yes.
and that's what it says in the subtitles as well, since I have to use subtitles.
Mm.
The player does a amazing speech about we can defeat this, and then they say, or maybe we don't, but at least we get some cool respawn animations.
Oh yeah, there's some cool respawn animations, right?
Yep.
There are some cool respawn animations every time you die. I think it cycles between like 20 of them.
Yeah,
And that's the
20
thing.
20 or more.
This game doesn't punish you for dying. It doesn't punish you for losing progress. There are certain parts of the game where you can, because of how it has lots of freedom in verticality as well as horizontally with how you can traverse the world, and it's a pretty big world. You tend to, of course, fall in the parkour moments, but there are some moments where it will literally just drop you through a portal back to the checkpoint where you almost fell. And
Oh, I'm
it's
watching them now. They're so cool.
yeah, the game is refreshing in how like it encourages you to play the game. It makes you actually like want to go back to it and not uninstall it. It has that replayability value because of how fun it is as itself. While it lacks substance in the case of story, it makes it all up with how the game goes and how the game looks. And another thing, when Sunset Overdrive launched, it was actually at a very ridiculously low price. I bought it
Yep.
at Steam for like, how much was it? It was less than 30 ringgit actually.
13 Oh really? Because I remembered seeing it on launch, it was around 39. Daniel, is it?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
That's
just quick reclarification. We mean released on PC because it was on Xbox One.
Yes, it was
like
on Xbox
years
One
prior.
first. Yeah.
That's
the
a
launch title for the Xbox One.
yes.
Yeah.
The original price for Sunset Overdrive is 39 ringgit.
Yeah. So I got it on like the on Steam. And because the moment I saw it, it was like, oh, okay, Sunset Overdrive is being ported to PC. All that hype that I had like 4 years ago when I first started my foundation, it was just it lived back because I can actually experience this game now. And if we want to talk about how it is port wise, I've been playing it as how it's meant to be played with the controller. I tried to switch over with keyboard and mouse, but it feels much too clunky. It's not as natural as it would be with using a controller.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you actually have to aim in this game with the guns that they have, but they have enough of a choice of an arsenal for you to actually like compensate for that if you're used to the FPS genre with keyboard and mouse.
All right.
You heard it here first. Farid says the keyboard and mouse sucks, so make sure to send out an email to @nuggetkohai.
Don't forget to tag me.
Listen, I'm saying keyboard and mouse sucks for this game because it is, of course, it was
No,
designed.
you're saying it sucks altogether, and anyone who uses it is a horrible person and should kill themselves. And you should direct all your hate mail to @nuggetkohai on Twitter.
And the one cannon has been fired. It has been fired and cannot be returned. Obliterated. Astral finish.
Oh god.
Is there a pilot coming down?
Destruction finish.
Okay.
Oh my.
Yeah, I
So-
can just say I agree with Farid a bit because I did review the game like last year, before the end of last year, and yeah, the port is a bit shoddy, to say the least. Mm.
But at least
So-
the game holds up.
Yeah, at least the game holds up. At least it's fun.
It's
It's
fun.
not beaten down by how bad of a port it is. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because like the way that the plot plays out, you can almost tell that the writers were just like, okay, I guess you have to put it in since we don't have multiplayer for the PC port.
Mhm.
Mm.
Was
That's
there
also
multiple
another
in the
thing.
original?
There was multiplayer in the original, 8 people in one game, and people raved about it. They loved the multiplayer. So a lot of the people who bought it for the PC port were disappointed there was no multiplayer.
Right.
But yeah,
It's
that's
okay. Still sounds like a good game. I'm glad Insomniac's still doing good after the Spyro days.
They've been making like super niche shit. Like they made some loser game called Spider-Man or whatever. I heard that went okay, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Not that good.
But last one fun fact for Insomniac lah. This is serious note lah. Remember, a lot of the mechanic in Sunset Overdrive, a lot of them is about grinding, right? Grinding on rails,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And Spider-Man is a
Parkouring
lot,
all.
and on Marvel Spider-Man is a lot of swinging, right? So basically, these two games are very much inspired by Ratchet and Clank because Ratchet and Clank, the PS2 platform, from the makers of Spyro the Dragon, you have gadgets you have a gadget that's called grind boots, where you have to grind rails on certain sections, and there's a swing shot where you have to do swing shot section, platforming section. So basically, it's all that flashes out those two mechanics that were just like side stuff into a full-fledged mechanic that can carry a game as a mobility option, which is
honestly,
really cool to see.
yeah, it carried it really hard, honestly, because I think if it weren't for the mobility of the game, a lot of it would have fallen flat.
Yeah, so shout out to Ratchet and Clank and also Spyro.
And also Cookie and Cream.
As Cookie and Cream. We should move on now.
Okay, I feel like we can clear. Oh, sorry, were you saying something? Yeah.
No, sorry, I was just my my laptop was acting up. I'm good.
Alright.
Okay, cool. I feel like we can clear a huge chunk off this docket. I'm just gonna plant a flag, and you guys like build off of this. Apex Legends, go everyone!
Oh boy.
Fight over this
Anan
topic.
first, Anan first.
Yeah, Anan first.
No.
Summoning Anan. Beckoning call.
Because Anan, you and me have played Apex Legend, right?
Yep.
He's coming in via the Sunset Overdrive like respawn thing where the rocket drops and the door opens and he comes in.
Prepare for Titanfall.
You mean when your
Titanfall.
dies?
Now we can say the word. Okay, Apex Legends, set the story up. And then tell us about the game itself.
I'll tell story. So basically, last week.
Not last week, is it?
heard-
Okay.
Yeah, last week lah.
Basically
Sunday,
last weekend lah.
Yeah, last week on Sunday, we heard rumors of a upcoming Titanfall type of game coming in from the guys at Respawn. Okay, it's interesting. Then after the Super Bowl, which sucks by the way, don't watch it. Jeff Keighley, you know, the guy who created
Chick
the Game
Hydrobot.
Awards. Oh,
Chick
Sorry?
Hydrobot, yeah.
yeah. That there will be something coming on after the day after Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
The next day respawns Apex Legends, a spin-off of Titanfall, but it's a battle royale shooting game. It's a team based. There's no solo here. It's a team based. You can play without mic. Battle royale game. Team of three. No, let me
Don't
just
forget,
read.
it's class based as well.
Oh yeah, it's class based as well.
Overwatch, Fortnite.
Yeah, I'm checking my notes here. Yeah, it's a class-based 3-player in a team match where you fight to win. Control, you know, basic battle royale stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
Last squad standing.
what? Sorry, tak dengar.
Last squad standing.
Yeah, last
yeah,
squad
yeah
standing.
lah. Yeah, they just say the usual battle royale stuff.
Uh-huh.
But here's the good thing: their movement speeds are by far the best I've played in any of the battle royales.
Yep, really good mobility, top tier.
Oh, it's really good because it's basically the Titanfall movement, besides the wall jumping, because they haven't implemented it yet.
The wall running, the double jumping, the
Yup.
bunny hopping.
Yep, all of that gone.
You need that max suit though.
Yeah, but you need a max, but there's no max in Apex
Wait,
There's
wait,
no
Legends.
wait.
pilot suit.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought.
Please,
When
please.
we get there, we're gonna.
Please. Some people are burning in and wounded from talking about Max. Hold on.
Desire,
Just
the
talk
burning
about
desire.
just talk about the game itself now. I've heard about the pinging system, the communication.
Oh, yeah.
The ping system is really ingenious in my opinion. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, this is a team game, so you need teamwork, right? But
Yep.
in case let's say you play solo or you don't have you don't have mic, can use the ping system to notify people. Okay, we have good loot here, enemies there, tango at west, something. It's ingenious. Okay,
Oh
they
yeah,
done
don't
it
forget
really
you can
good.
call dibs on weapons. Like
Oh,
you
dibs!
answer, then you're like,
Yeah,
it's
you can do that.
mine.
Got a good weapon here. We got armor here. Oh, you want health pack? Okay, shield
Oh,
here.
Dib,
Shields here, level 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here.
mine.
Backpack.
It's really good for communication.
You
Yeah.
know what? It's an evolution from the Overwatch thing, because remember that early on, I remember when I reviewed the Overwatch, it has this I forgot what I call it, but it's like a natural call shout out system or something, because when you hear, oh, he's using an ability, oh, he's apa, when you get
I need
hit,
healing, etc.
when you
etc.
when you get shot, someone will call out where you are getting shot. Like
Yeah.
one of your
Behind
teammates, one of the other characters. That is
Yeah.
seriously sublime. And I think Apex Legends just take that one notch higher with the ping
Yep.
system. I think that's a very good thing to add.
Yeah, and
The chat system also have a text to speech. So if you can just type in chat and it will translate to a speech engine.
Oh, that's
Hmm.
genius. Wait,
Moon base
important.
alpha.
If you type SOI, how does it read it? Someone
I didn't-
attempt this.
Haven't tested it yet.
yeah, same.
We should do that on stream.
No, we should do
Right.
it on the stream.
Oh boy. So
Yeah.
Apex Legends, good.
Yeah,
Mm,
but
yes.
I think we really suggest you play with a full squad of your own friends, because playing solo is depressing. So okay, we have several different types of player in Apex Legends. Okay, full solo doesn't talk anything. The try hard, me try to talk, nobody talk. I say okay, Tango West 300 degree. No one say anything, but at least they should okay, it's fine. But then they didn't even talk, they didn't even type anything. Okay, it's fine.
There you go, guys.
Depressing.
We got a single man over here. You can just
Come on.
call him out over Twitter.
Hold on. I heard too much cross talk. We only talk one at a time.
Irham does it again.
Oh, pardon me.
It's a really good game in essence, but played by the the negatives of battle royale, which is 99% walking simulator, walking and looting. Only 1% of the time you saw action.
Understandable.
And I don't know whether they will have esports on this, considering Fortnite and PUBG.
Considering
esports. Yeah,
EA.
EA is one thing. They don't care about esports, but then
No.
the battle royale genre itself is problematic for esports
Tapi
because of the
tak, tapi
residency.
Anan, I think this could work because it is basically a team-based game.
Yeah,
100%. So
But-
it could work.
it could work if they have a smaller map and a smaller team size, and maybe
Oh,
they
yeah.
they need to have
small map.
okay. Let's say they have a tournament, right? They need to have a structure whereby you need to play multiple times for you, let's say, to advance to a next bracket or something, rather than okay, just a one-off one single elimination. No, you cannot do that. You need to have multiple playthrough.
I think the pro circuit of PUBG does that as well.
Yeah.
So they
I
play
think
like 2
you've
times.
just
a week.
created CS:GO.
No, I mean that's multiple
Oh no,
rounds.
CS.
Yeah,
Oh,
multiple
sorry,
rounds,
even CS:GO
something
doesn't do
yeah.
that.
I don't know.
It is CSGO.
That's CSGO, but a lot of people don't get this in battle royale. They think okay, just one match, fine. No, you need multiple
No,
rounds.
you need
But
3 rounds at
CS:GO
least.
is between two teams. This is between multiple squads. So yeah, they need to structure it. Not too many like CS:GO. Like you need 15 rounds in a row. You need like 6 or maybe 5 rounds of win. You know,
Mm.
need a proper structure.
Mm.
Great
I
game.
have an important question. I have a very important question about Apex Legends.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
How is the robot? Like this,
What
I know there's a
robot?
robot character.
Yeah.
How
Oh,
does
oh,
The
you
Pathfinder.
robot, the robot character is a how do you say this?
Healer.
No, not healer. He's a support. He's a mobility support by how do you say this?
I know that he has a zipline ability or
Yeah,
something like
zipline.
that,
Yeah,
Yeah,
the zipline. The zipline ability.
and ability to see the close the new circle. I mean
Yeah.
there's a closing circle for the
Circle
next.
scanner,
Yeah, the
yeah.
closing circle for the next
Circle
area.
scanner. It's really
Mm.
good.
Also,
Basically, happy.
his lines are very nice. I mean, he talks happily.
Because he's a good boy.
He's a good bot. Very
Is
good
he the
bot.
jump master though?
Jump Master! Jump Master is the best word of the year. Jump Master, word of the year 2019.
Farid, have you played this game?
Apex Legends. Okay, here's the thing. I haven't the time. I live a busy life, unfortunately. But my first impressions of Apex Legends is, and honestly, with any single game, again because I'm a visual artist, is the design.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
have you guys seen the roster? Cause I'll be honest, it stands out. It really stands out when you're used to the same cookie cut, white, middle-aged white guy with stubble and brunette.
Sorry, you got something in my throat there.
So you see these characters that are not only diverse in, as in, like, we can see diversity as in the race and everything, but also in just how they look in their designs and how different they are visually with each other, but they can still look as if they belong in the same place. Not unlike Overwatch, which is just, okay, there's a DJ and there's a monkey next to him. You know?
It works, but still, I get your point.
Yeah, there's
It's more cohesive.
yeah, it's more
true.
cohesive. It's uniform without looking like it's the same palette, you know. Because in Overwatch, it feels like the toy box you had as a kid. Then suddenly it's Superman versus Power Ranger. You know, it doesn't work. It's not cohesive. For me. But yeah, I haven't had the chance to play Apex Legends because usually I stray away from battle royale games. But what has blown me away is because I'm in artist circles, is seeing the amount of fan arts that Apex Legend has been getting, and just how it has been getting a lot of fan art actually. And
Bloodhound is a lady, right?
that's the best part about Bloodhound. You don't know. Bloodhound's Bloodhound.
Just like
it's the pyro.
It's the pyro, yeah.
Like
basically.
Pyro, yeah.
it's the
exactly.
Pyro is Zero from Borderlands.
Yes.
It makes sense.
And to some people, this is representation for them. And to some people, it's just like, okay, cool, mysterious character, just like Pyro, just like Zero, just like, you know, all those such of blank slate characters, but still are able to stand out without having a discernible gender, you know? So I think these characters are all able to convey personality just from their first looks without us even hearing any lines from them or anything. So when I hear you guys, like, because I don't know their personalities at all, but I can make a guess. And Pathfinder reminded me of, like, what's the name, Chappie? You guys
Yeah,
mentioned?
that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Oh god.
I just
think
get
I
that
know.
visual cue.
Yes, Wam.
You know what?
Because they mentioned that Apex Legends takes place in the Titanfall universe, right?
Yes.
Titanfall universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scene in Titanfall 2 where because they have these Pathfinders, like one of those robots, the grunts that you kill for XP, essentially.
Yeah.
And there's one holding a gun, and he's got like a little happy face on his chest, and when you take the gun, it becomes sad. I think we found an origin story.
At least he gets the spot, the love he deserves.
How many people, by the way, in a match of, like, in total?
60, right?
60.
60, sorry, 60.
So 20
60
squads.
to 20 teams. Yeah,
I've heard it's
that's
6.
interesting.
I've heard it's 60 because of they want it to release on consoles first. They are still aiming if they can get the numbers higher, but they want to release it on consoles, so 60 it is.
It's a good balance actually. 60.
Hmm.
Oh wait.
I mean, it's always impressive when a console does 60.
Yeah.
But
Yes!
Yes, guys.
60 club. Let's go.
The only con that I found for Apex Legends is no motion blur turn off.
Oh.
Oh.
Damn it! I want to turn off motion blur.
Oh, that's so bad. I know certain people who legitimately get like seasick when they can't turn off motion blur.
Well, we have one over here.
I don't get seasick, but I despise motion blur.
But you can fix
Yeah.
it through FOV though. Your motion
Oh, at least I got
sickness.
FOV. Totally
Nah.
happy.
Thank-
Really
Thanks.
worth it.
He's in the
But
heavens
you don't
thanking
have
us.
FPS limiter, am I right? And they have
Oh,
basic.
by the way, I can vouch for how much Anan hates motion blur. I watched him like open his own settings menu to change so he doesn't experience motion blur at all. Like IRL.
Oh my god.
He turned off VSync so he could get a higher frame rate with no
Oh
motion
my
blur.
god. That's a big rose, Mom. That's a big rose.
Hmm. Should we?
Using on
But yeah.
RTX on, RTX off.
Okay, should we address the elephant in the room, or rather the
Yes,
not elephant
I
in
would
the
like to
room?
bring this up.
Yes.
I would like to bring the elephant that is not in the room because they fucking canceled Titanfall 3. So here's the story from Wam's perspective, right? Because Wam has been in a hole playing Kingdom Hearts 3 for the past week. So I have had very limited contact with the outside world. And so I hear Apex Legends. It's set in the Titanfall universe. But, Titanfall 3, it's not going to affect Titanfall 3. And I was like, okay, I don't mind. Maybe they need to make a little bit of money while Titanfall 3 is being made. It's okay. I don't mind. And then suddenly my friend sends me a clip of the Super Best Friends, Castle Super Beast, my bad, reading that Titanfall 3 has been cancelled. It's like the cliche where your parents bring you out to Disneyland and then at the end of it they say we're getting a divorce.
Ooh.
We're getting this
Yeah.
at this cost. Oh.
It's like, yeah, I'm glad you had a good day because Titanfall 3 is dead. I own Titanfall 2. It is legit one of the best like multiplayer FPSs I've ever played. It is fun, like holy shit. And I knew this was coming. I think it was on this podcast I said the same thing. I said it's either on this podcast or one of our secret recordings that isn't online where I said that I think Titanfall 3 like is in danger or something like that. I said something about EA like EAing it up. And here we are. Titanfall 3 dead.
Okay, now
Instead we got Overwatch Fortnite.
okay, now to reel back the whole story. So essentially, Respawn basically did not develop Titanfall 3 at all. Apparently, they started the development of what become of Apex Legends, just right after they finished wrapping up Titanfall 2's post-launch content. What's the mode called again?
Frontier Defense.
Frontier Defense. Yeah.
Defense.
After they wrapped that thing, they were instantly going into try. Hey, let's try do a battle royale, and they started out with Titanfall 2 assets. So they had titles, they had all of the parkour mechanics and everything. But as development goes on, they rein in some of the bits, and that means they have to remove the titans, they have to remove the mechs, and then they have to rein down the mobility. So no wall running, no bunny hopping, no double jump, just to make it a battle royale experience. It hurts. It really hurts seeing it, but I'm glad that what has become of Apex Legends being released let's set aside the leaks, being released at a surprise free to play at this time of the year. I think it's still a very good move because they know if they they release the game if they announce the game early on, like, oh, let's do a trailer, stuff like that, announcement, stuff like that, people will shit on them. If you heard Wam is already disappointed, what if Wam heard that thing 6 months earlier?
Oh,
Where
shit posting.
this is the time just hear the context. Respawn is making a free-to-play battle royale game with loot box just after they got bought by EA. How bad of a message if they just announce, "Hello, we've made a new game called Apex Legends."
Oh god, you just brought something else up. That's they straight up lied, because when EA bought the thing, they said Titanfall 3 is being worked on. I really feel like my parents just told me they're getting divorced. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
So what was supposed
God.
to be Titanfall 3 becomes this.
You know what extra burns about this is that Titanfall 3 Titanfall was a mecha game. You know how rare those are nowadays.
We're
It
still
was a
waiting for
good
the
mecha game.
we're still waiting for that Armored Core game.
Oh yeah, totally not Armored Core. Demon X Machina.
Or at least we
Yeah.
have Demon X Machina, yeah, sure. Yeah, it still sings. I'm with you. I'm a bit gutted when they said no Max.
Thing is, I don't hate Apex Legends. I hate Battle Royales, but I don't hate Apex Legends. Like, glad this game exists and all. But I'm betrayed. I'm betrayed that I was lied to. I was told Titanfall 3 exists when all along it didn't. All along they were building Overwatch, Fortnite. I'm sad that we'll never get one of the most unique multiplayer FPSs ever again, because that's not padding, by the way. That I think it really does deserve that title of one of the most unique FPS multiplayer shooters.
Mm.
Okay, I think now is the best time for you, all of you, dia.log, the Gaming Matters podcast listeners. If there is a sale on PS Store Asia or on Origin, go and buy Titanfall 2. I wanted to buy during this current sale, but unfortunately Titanfall 2 was not on sale. Maybe it's on Origin, but I do not want to play on PC. Go buy Titanfall 2, even though if you don't like the multiplayer. I don't like the multiplayer. It's too much for me, too much movement. But that single player campaign is that good.
Oh, I'm the other way around. I didn't play the single player because I was just like, I don't care about single player stories. But damn, that multiplayer! I don't even like competitive multiplayer, and I found it good.
Yeah, it's good. It's just not for me. I'm too slow when it comes to
Okay,
console
man,
FPS.
we'll play Frontier Defense together. Then we'll just juggle the generator.
Yeah, the Defender Frontier or something. Or Apex Legends, which is free. okay.
We should play that. We should play that.
I mean,
That would be
legitly, we
sick.
should. I mean, I like to check it out.
Regarding Apex Legends, I pointed out the lack of motion blur setting right now, right?
Mhm.
So there's no motion blur turn off option because there's no motion blur in the game. Because I just adjusted my settings and turns out my FPS is too low. That's why I see some blurring. That's the reason. So I set it up so above 60 FPS, everything okay, no motion blur. So thank you, Respawn,
playing
for
on
not
PC or
including
PS4?
motion blur. PC.
Anan's of course playing on PC. He haven't subscribed to PS.
PC Master Race.
No wonder. Because I didn't have any motion blur in mind, so I was like,
Okay,
No,
that's.
I mean, too low FPS, so I
yeah.
reset it. Yeah, so it's an error on my part. Sorry,
Alright.
Respawn.
Retraction.
So, hopefully, we'll get our Max in the future. But for now, Apex Legends out now, free to play. Okay, let's move on. We are running long, by the way.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
Really
I'm
long.
sorry, I keep hijacking every topic.
Nah, tak apa.
I mean, it's fine, but we really have to breeze through the news.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we could just move to the news then. I guess unless
Yeah, sure. Or maybe Daniel, you have something, or do you want to postpone it?
Yeah, we can just talk about it now.
All right, we have a big thing from Daniel.
Big thing, right? So, listeners of the podcast, you know that we always talk about cars and racing games while eliminating Wam out of this segment because he doesn't know what we're talking about. So, I made a decision with Mac that we're going to announce a new segment so that Wam can do whatever he wants in this segment. We're gonna call it dia.cast. It's basically just we talk. It's basically a timer we can talk about anything that is related to cars and racing games, so
Eh.
that it. Go on, Mac.
No, so go on.
And I think that's it.
Yeah, so all the vroom vrooms. So we are retiring the F1 corner. We are calling it dia.cast.
Yep.
That's diecast. Diecast
Die
toys.
cut, see?
I don't know if you don't get the
At first I
job.
thought it was. At first, I thought it was gonna be a model cars section. I was like, oh, I'd love to join in on this because model cars are great. But
Yeah, it will be there sometime soon because
It-
it's just about cars basically.
I mean, it's all about pretend cars, hey, by the way. So we can lump some in real diecast cars in the dia.cast. So yeah, with that announcement, do we have some small bits of information you'd like to share on the with the listeners?
Yep. So
Haas.
yep.
Mm.
At the time of recording, Haas F1, one of the Formula One teams, has launched their new car, which I'm just going to show in our chat room right now. It
Okay,
looks like
I have already an opinion. Let's ask the guys that do not are not in the motorsport world. What do
What do
they
you
Destroy
think?
the
think?
hello. Destroy the hello.
it looks like a prime Warframe.
Now I like
what
it
about you?
better.
It looks like a Hot Wheel I belikan for my idea.
That's interesting.
Judging the livery only, yeah.
Yeah, judging
Ah.
on the video only.
Yeah,
So
because
this
Yeah,
is so this is their new car for 2019. It is owned. They have a new title sponsor. Which is Rich Energy, an American energy drink
dubious.
owned by a very dubious owner, by the way. Hold on, I want to search for the owner, and because the owner, if you can see, is the most interesting character ever. Hold on, I'll just this one.
Seriously, there's a brand
Is he the CEO of
energy.
Starbucks?
Oh no, it's even worse. This guy, it looks like a literal piece of work.
So while Daniel is searching on there, so apparently there's a energy drink called Rich Energy that
Yeah.
people can order online, which is
Here's the guy.
Oh
It looks
my!
like
This
a
is the owner.
Russian.
Yeah, this is the owner of Rich Energy.
Daniel, can you get the name for the listeners out there, the audio listeners? William what
Yes,
again?
William.
It's William Story.
William Story, Storey, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Google
William
that.
Story.
And
It looks.
Okay.
It looks like the hair and beard model swapped.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is an entrepreneur of a very high-end luxurious energy drink brand.
It looks like he went for a ride in his car, and so like the new F1 car goes so fast it ripped the
Yep.
hair off his head.
Yep.
So how did the beard survive?
I don't know. Beards are just who knows how
beards.
beards work.
They put the tonic and it grew to level 10.
Yep. Level
Yeah,
10
that's how
already.
beards work.
That's Red Dead Redemption 2 told me. I thought video games.
Speak of Red Dead Redemption reference.
So yeah, I'm personally not a fan of the way of the black and gold. That's a
Yep,
better
exactly.
representation.
That's a better reference. there.
Yes, he is. What's the character name again?
David
the
Jones.
David Jones.
Yeah, David Jones from
we don't
Pirates of the
forget the
Caribbean.
podcast now.
He's basically David Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean, sure.
Yep. Okay, he'll be in our thumbnail now.
David Jones.
Delivery.
David Jones.
Like the delivery.
David Jones
David
would work. I mean, he appeared with Sora, I guess. Sort of, maybe.
Mm.
I don't know.
Uh,
I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 2 or 3,
Same.
so I'm just guessing.
Season 2 as well, so yeah.
Oh, I should remember that.
We should put the Kingdom
Ah!
Hearts version of Davy Jones. Make it
Yes,
topical.
noted. So yeah, anything else on dia.cast before we move on?
So so by the next dia.cast, which is in 2 weeks, we'll be talking about the F1 testing, which will happen next week, the week we don't record. So expect me ranting about, I don't know, Alfa Romeo being slow or something.
Alright. That should
Alright,
be
so
cool then.
and that's our first dia.cast.
Also, I've made a logo for that
Yay.
already. So
Wow.
it's
Gold and black,
Don't-
just like the old Lotus.
God, Black Lotus, yeah, basically.
also Roman Grosjean is also driving that. Makes sense.
You can't stray away.
When I saw their racing suit, right, I'm like, I think I remember the suits. Where have I seen them? And then I
Yeah.
remember Kimi Raikkonen
Yep.
and his
Mm,
Lotus suit.
Okay, Irham, what have you been doing?
Nothing. No.
I've set it up for you and you throw it away. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, to the news.
Alright, back to the news.
But seriously, you want to move on?
My IQ was too low for this. Basically, I played this certain game, Android games. I received it through my messages, and it says like, play this Smosh Spain game.
You should spell that because it's not a conventional spelling name.
Shmush. And Spain.
Smash.
Is it Smash the Spinning?
Yeah,
Is it
it's
that's
kinda,
the real name?
it's
Can you
actually the
spell
real name.
correctly next time?
It's correct now. It's correct now. It wasn't like within 2 hours ago, no. But right now, it's actually the correct one. Because of my IQ is so damn low, I play this game. For the first level. The first level is quite easy. I'm actually I was surprised. And then within the second levels, where the block becoming 4x4, and I just lost it. So all I had to do is press the hint button. But here's the thing: when you press the hint button, you have to watch ads for 30 seconds. So I spent my time watching ads in this game.
Which also reduces your IQ.
That explains a lot.
That does explain a lot. But how do you explain how he was before he played the game, though?
You guys need my parent consent. Yeah.
I don't think we should brought that up. Okay, so what else
I-
about this puzzle game?
If you feel like for a challenge, yes, you could go for it. But if you feel like you have a data to spend to watch some ads for hints, but the hints they only give like 3 moves. The game sometimes you have to move like 3 to 4 to 5 times to get the correct answer, and you cannot leave a single one color alone. Like you have to click every single one of them. They must be used, and there are like 3 to 4 moves that you can move, like clicks to destroy them. So it's actually really hard game.
Okay.
Is it the Dark Souls of mobile puzzle games?
Not that hard. Not that hard. It's directed to children, I guess, to have a bigger brain compared to us.
Compared to 22-year-old.
So it's the Spyro of mobile.
Yes.
I mean, I'd say it went to the right audience then.
Interesting.
Okay, we can head to the news now.
Wow.
So you have
Someone call an ambulance for Irham because he needs to be checked in for that burn.
Ow. So let's move on to more
Okay,
greener
so
pastures.
as per usual, the news we have like one headline. We're gonna read a bunch of other stuff, and then a second headline. So here's the whole reason we brought Farid on. We didn't bring her on just to talk about a 4-year-old game. We brought her on to talk about. a 4-year-old game that we already reviewed as well, but no, we can talk about
Ow!
laptop pricing.
Ouchie.
Okay, laptop
I will
stuff.
talk about another game, but it hasn't come
So
out yet.
yeah,
Right.
it's welcome to the news. Take it away.
So
Right.
apparently,
So
Oh.
if you want to set
Hello?
up, please do.
Yeah,
no,
please do.
sorry, my internet is acting up. You go first.
Okay, so back to the setup. So apparently, Nvidia RTX, as we reported in previous episodes of the dia.log, the Gaming Matters podcast, are coming on to laptops, and now we have seen these RTX equipped gaming laptops, and they are here in Malaysia, and now we know the price. And
Ouchie.
Yikes.
Starting
My
price.
wallet.
okay, so let's just put in the pricing on the first brand to announce their pricing for Malaysia, which is Asus ROG. So the cheapest of them all, which is the ROG Strix Hero
Hero.
2. So this is the cheapest one, running RTX 2060 with an Intel Core i7, 8GB RAM, stuff like that. 6499 ringgit. 6K. 6,499 ringgit Malaysia. For context, usually a good value gaming laptop should be costing around 4,000 to 5,000 ringgit.
Yes.
So starting
Okay, I think
at
for
6,499.
those
Hmm?
sorry, for those of us who don't speak tech, priest, just explain like how big or little of a deal RTX actually is.
Oh
Go on,
boy.
Okay, I
Go,
can
go.
explain it. Okay, it's
Go ahead, Anan.
Oh,
I can
Please
sit
go on.
down for this segment.
We can just go.
RTX is a technological bullshit by Nvidia.
Oh.
At least for now. At
Panas.
least for now.
Hot
Okay.
takes.
So it's like Retina display then.
Okay,
It's like Retina
no.
display.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, rendering. Let's say 3D rendering, right? So we have, let's say, Phong rendering, rastering. So the traditional way is called rasterization. So the 3D model is rendered in some way, so it looks like the usual video game we have now. Okay, but ray tracing means you calculate the path of the light itself. So like coming from any object, it will calculate the path, and then all the reflection it will calculate. The disadvantage of ray tracing compared to rasterization is the high cost of computation. So that's why we don't have real-time ray tracing before RTX. So Nvidia pretty much, let's say they say, okay, we introduce real-time ray tracing for the masses, democratizing the technology. Yay! So everyone clap. Everyone in the bus clap. That happened. But yeah, because currently only 2 games support RTX, so it's not really it's not really that big of a deal.
What are the games again?
Battlefield 5 and another, I don't know.
Metro
forgot.
Exodus. I think.
Metro
Metro Exodus.
Metro Exodus
Metro
is coming, yes.
Incoming Metro Exodus. So the thing is, okay, Nvidia said, okay, we have new technology, so we put it in our new cards. So come and buy for a premium. Not a lot of games use RTX. So the only people justified to use the ray tracing are researchers currently, and maybe let's say 3D modeling something. That's all. So it's not worth it if you buy
It's
RTX now.
honestly, yeah. I'd say ray tracing is something that's so niche of an audience. It's something, since rasterization is basically just having it all pre-rendered and
Yeah,
such.
pre-rendered.
Ray tracing is like trying to put a whole bunch of stuff on top of that, and you still are expecting to have an FPS above 25 or something like that. It's just not feasible right now with the current levels of technology. and it's very obvious being kind of like a cash grab for Nvidia.
Yeah, because they are desperate with their fight against AMD, so they introduce bleeding edge technology to the masses. They say, okay, we need new stuffs because we don't want people to say we recycle our old cards. Okay, so we put a new technology and charge a premium so that the dumb ones can buy it and give us money and make good name for Nvidia, even though it's not ready yet. They usually put this technology on the top tier card. Let's say the
It's
Titan.
like-
Okay, if they put in Titan, it's understandable, but they put it in even in the lower tier card with a expensive pricing. Shit.
Oh.
From what it sounds like a reverse straw man.
What do you mean?
Because okay, so a straw man argument is where you make up a problem and solve the problem. I guess it's a normal straw man then. So say like we're arguing which is better, Mac or PC, and I say, well, so you're arguing for PC. You say, well, PC has actually no, I need a better straw man argument because I don't know enough tech to make up a straw man argument. But basically, we're arguing about the cost of something, and you say well, yeah, but Starbucks money goes to bombing Nebraska. So so that's a straw man argument. Nebraska was never in this argument, but you've added it to the argument and declared yourself the winner on that issue. That is a straw man. So it's the same thing here. It sounds like they've made up a problem. They're just like, we have a special jellybean renderer. All our graphics cards have the best jellybean renderer.
Yeah.
No one was looking at jellybean rendering, but ours is the best. Ours is the best though.
Nobody needs it.
It's the best jellybean renderer because it's the only jellybean renderer.
And we are selling it to 4 different levels of pricing for everyone to buy our jellybean renderer.
All our graphics cards are $2,000 now because we have jellybean rendering technology. Why? Does AMD have jellybean rendering? No, it doesn't. Does it?
They don't, and they made a good card now. AMD Radeon 7, I've heard some good things about it without any ray tracing. And actually provide some good performance increase.
On the flip side, actually, for I see devil's advocate for Nvidia, they did release something on the same par of their RTX lines, which was the GTX 1160, which was
1166. 1660.
There's the 1660 and then there's the 1160. I don't even know how the numbers go anymore.
1660.
Can you count?
When do you reach the Nvidia Dream Drop distance?
No, 365 over 2.
Oh yeah, 358 over 2. Yeah, the Nvidia 350. My mistake. And what about Nvidia Birth by Sleep? When do we reach that?
Nvidia Chi recoded. What else?
Oh god.
Okay. Moving back to the laptop pricing. So it's starting from 6,500 ringgit, 6,500 ringgit. So the CPU is i7. I think I know where the most of the cost went. They went to the RTX. So they put RTX, so they need to put better cooling. They engineer better cooling. That's one thing. And then they put the NVMe PCIe SSD. That one is also expensive. 512 gigs. Yikes. Also the display. They put a 1080p 140 Hz. That one is really, really expensive. I mean, okay, you can put 1080p 60. Okay, that one is cheap time a dozen. And then you put 75 Hz, maybe 100 Hz, 120. But when you go to the beyond, like 144 Hz, it really bites your pocket. Manufacturer. So I'm not surprised the price went up to the 6,500 range due to the display and the card alone.
This is all ringgit, right? 6,500.
Yeah,
ringgit.
Yep.
Ringgit.
Oh, I can't imagine in dollars, man.
Yeah.
It went. The best thing is it went up to 9,299.
That's 1/6 of a Tronos.
Okay. For the 9000, the only upgrade it has is from 2060 to 2070, and then
Mhm.
from 8 gig of RAM to 16, and then display from 15-inch to 17-inch. That's all. A couple inch of display, upgrade of card, and a bit of RAM to jack it up 3000. Easy, easy clap.
What we're saying is, don't buy an RTX laptop just yet.
Cash grab.
Maybe not
boy.
worth the money. I think the
Wait
10
till they get.
I think the 1060 is still valid for
Yes.
2019's AAA games, right? It still can run
Yes.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Even
honestly.
1050 Ti is good enough.
Yeah,
Ah.
honestly.
1050 Ti.
Yeah, I've played a lot of 1050 Ti on 1050 Ti laptops. It's running okay. I mean, it won't be reaching like high on most benchmark, but it's playable. 60 FPS can be reached. So
I can
yeah,
reach Overwatch 140 FPS on 1050 Ti on medium. Easy.
that should be enough. Alright, let's move on to the other news bits.
Okay, so our favorite company, Quantic Dream, is now partially owned by NetEase.
Chinese money!
China! Woo!
Devil touch.
Our enemy is spreading its wing to Xbox and PC. They may be developing multi-platform games.
Sorry?
They will be developing multi-platform games. They won't be a Sony exclusive. They won't be making
Oh,
Sony
no.
exclusives.
You try PC, oh no.
Chinese money ma.
Chinese
Chinese
money.
also play PC.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Next.
Fortnite.
Thank you, Fortnite.
Oh, this is ROS, man. Wait, hold on. Is it ROS?
Wait, ROS exists?
Ours is Tencent, is it?
Still running?
Rules of survival. Who owns rule of survival? We should move on.
I assume
Yeah.
everything in China is owned by Tencent eventually.
No,
Rules
no.
of survival
NetEase
is
is not.
NetEase.
No,
Okay.
NetEase is not.
So
Okay, so DSFix modder Durante now has a company specializing in PC ports.
this is the
Nice.
guy that made DSFix that fixed Dark Souls on PC.
Yeah, and I
He
think
is the reference for anything port now. They
Yep.
say, okay,
Yeah.
this is good port, ask Durante.
I
Durante,
think,
give his blessing.
The remaster also uses DSFix, right? The
Yes.
remaster.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's a thing. Good job, Durante. On speaking of jobs, Machinima shut down.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So
Rip.
for those of you who have been following this,
F in the chat,
they-
boys. F in the
F.
chat.
F in the
F.
chat.
F in the chat.
So the timeline was first they privated all their videos. The channel's gone, nothing. People like Maximilian who are under Machinima had their employment terminated.
Mm-hmm.
And then because they got bought over by another company, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Auto Media ? We'll clarify. Put a subtitle here: Future Meck.
Why did I get summoned? It is Otter Media.
But yeah, and now it's just gone. So Rip Machinima. I remember I used to watch RB and the Chief back in the old 2009s. It's sad to see you go. And fuck capitalism, right? Retro Studios are now developing Metroid Prime 4. What's the story here, guys?
Suddenly, Nintendo made an announcement video saying they are apologizing. The development of Metroid Prime 4 will be delayed because they have to restart the whole development. The team will now be the development team will now be Retro Studios rather than some unannounced developer that we heard from rumors and speculation would have been someone from Bandai Namco Singapore. Probably, but we don't know. So now it's back to Retro Studios, the guys that made Metroid Prime 1, 2, 3.
Cool. Follow up from last episode, Ammobox Studios has launched a GoFundMe campaign for its legal battles against its piece of shit publisher.
Fucker.
So Cliff Notes, they got a publisher. Publisher ran off with their money. They had to DMCA to get their money back. They had to DMCA their own game. So now they're lawyering up. So best of luck to them. Please donate if you can. So PSA. Speaking of getting fucked, PSA Nier Automata Game of the Yorha edition come out February 21. What's the relation to fucking? No one wants to fuck to be more than Yoko Taro himself.
Yes.
I would just like to point out we can all agree that Game of the Yorha edition should just be renamed as GM Game of the Year edition.
Oh yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
was our GM Game of the Year.
2017. It's a good game. Go buy it. It's apparently cheaper.
It comes with all the outfits, right? So you get the
Yep.
assless dress outfit for 2B.
Yes.
Speaking
on that
of
note-
assless outfits, interview with DOA6 producer has nuggets of goodness like how come Soul Calibur 6 gets away with doing fan service scot-free, which is an interesting point.
Twinfinite.net is where you find that interview, and yeah, there's a lot of good questions, and one of them is that how come Soul Calibur 6 don't get the attention from their fan service? Think about it.
Farid, do you play Dead or Alive, Farid?
Oh god.
I'll take that as a yes.
Listen, okay, that sometimes I'm glad that I just play on PC.
Ooh,
Hmm.
this is some serious talk over there. But you can't handle those 30 FPS, those bear things.
It's running on 60 FPS on
Yeah.
consoles lah. It's in there since the PS2 days. No, since the original Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
Wait, CRT monitors doesn't count FPS? So please.
No.
It's on the
Okay,
Xbox.
we'll move.
I want to
Moving
ask you
on.
guys.
Moving on,
guys.
please. Thank you.
I have a
What?
question.
Yo,
Which game has the best jiggle physics?
Extreme 3, no doubt.
What again?
Neko Para, dude. Neko Para.
DO Extreme 3.
Extreme 3.
DOA Extreme 3. Oh man, I can't wait for Scarlet. It's coming out on the Switch.
Yep.
On the Switch. Only on the Switch.
Only
Course you can play
an
on Switch.
inferior game is coming out on the PS4, but Dead or Alive X3 Scarlet is coming out on Switch. Okay, moving on. There was a concert in Fortnite, but it's not the first virtual concert.
Oh, I
So,
remember this.
Miku.
Was it Second Life?
No, the first one is about Hatsune Miku with
PSO2, if I'm not
PSO2,
mistaken.
yes.
Yes.
PSO2,
Ah.
like 5 years ago.
Fantasy
Cool.
Yes. And Farid, you're
Wait,
not
was it
wrong.
only No, I was gonna say, if that was 5 years ago, then no, Adventure Quest had the first virtual concert. Fucking Voltaire. But to be fair, it wasn't really Voltaire. Like it was a scripted Voltaire NPC, but he would have like concerts in the on Halloween.
And yeah, on Second Life also have some concerts also. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe the first in Fortnite, but not the first virtual concert.
Come on, Epic.
Microsoft Studios has rebranded to Xbox Game Studios.
Okay.
I like
They did it again.
the best thing I like about
Rebrand.
I like the best thing about it is that if you go to the site and you can read one of the statements, which is at xboxgamestudios.com, which acknowledges some of the best game franchises under the Xbox, which includes, hold on, I'm loading the page. Where's the statement? Okay. We are responsible for developing and publishing some of the biggest game franchises in history. Age of Empires, Forza, Gears of War, Halo, Minecraft, Big Boss, Microsoft Solitaire.
No joke, that is the most popular game in the world.
Exactly.
Microsoft.
Okay, finishing up. Microsoft Flight Simulator, State of Decay, and many more. So basically, they finally give the prop to Microsoft Solitaire. Finally,
The true heavyweight.
after
True heavyweight.
after
The
all
true
these
OG.
years. I want to put a solitaire deck on the thumbnail.
What about Microsoft Hearts though? Microsoft Hearts exists too. I'm
I
so
prefer
tired of
Spider
Hearts.
Solitaire.
No, Solitaire is a single player game.
But
Spider
but Hearts
Solitaire for
has
the win.
bots.
That's why.
The bots are smart enough.
Minesweeper isn't there.
Minesweeper.
Where's Minesweeper?
Rip my super.
Read
Okay,
Minesweeper.
so
Okay.
Rip Mines. Oh yeah, we completely forgot Minesweeper.
Moving on.
Okay, so this is not the big headline news, but this is my favorite story in the news snippets. A kid in the UK bought a PS4 for £8 by weighing it as a fruit.
Genius.
This actually gives us a question. What fruit does PS4 represent?
I don't know.
I'll go
what
with blackberry.
Pineapple.
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 Pineapple. Are you wait? Anan, important question. Are you saying that playing PS4 makes your cum taste better?
I didn't imply anything. Nothing is implied.
Asking to the
You're
right
really
person.
So it's I heard like just a giant like crosstalk. Could someone say something?
Can't escape from crossing talk.
So let me read some excerpts of this. The 19-year-old man, named in the French media as Adele, he's French, sorry, not British, picked the device off the shelf and took it to the fruit section and weighed it. He then put the sticker with the heavily reduced price tag on the console and went to checkout. Adele paid £786 or €9 for the 6-pound bag of fruit at a self-checkout at a supermarket in Montbéliard, Eastern France.
Oh, self-checking counter. That's how. Okay.
The correct retail price
He got
is
caught because he came for second time.
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
caught because he
damn
wanted to do it again.
This
Wait,
is
I need to point out. So he paid €9 for this. A PS4 in that area is €340. Talk about a deal.
this is a high Q at its highest. High IQ.
Now I know where
This
my
is-
IQ
That's how
went.
Mafia works. That's how they work.
Yeah, the only shitty thing is that he sold it for profit and then he tried to do it again. Come on, man. We were rooting for you. If honestly, if he had kept it for himself, he was just like, I just wanted a PS4, I would have just gone, you know what? You get to do this. Like,
Yeah.
you're the only one that gets to do this. This is just this once. We let you keep everything because that's goddamn genius.
I know.
Oh, for £7 you can get a mango.
Mangoes.
Just a singular mango.
Yeah.
I feel like the
Yeah.
PS4 is kind of mango-like in shape. When you cut
How?
mango, it kind of
Yeah,
looks like a PS4.
the diamond
Yeah.
silhouette.
I don't
So we
see
need a
that.
subtitle
Soft
mangoes
fruit.
now.
We mango now, boys.
We mango now.
Where we dropping boys? Mango. I don't know what that means, but sure. Mango. What's this called?
Mango.
Okay, we should move
Oh,
on
he
to
was
the.
sentenced to 4 months in prison. Yeah. Okay,
Oh.
now the actual.
What a sandbag! Last point of the news.
So our final headline. This is the news story that has been going everywhere. There are many heated opinions. It's also part follow-up because we talked about this last episode as well, because it has to do with Metro Exodus and the Epic Games Store.
Wow, 2 in 1.
2 in 1. Also feedback. To our knowledge, Deep Silver has not responded to our request for hashtag give Anan Metro Exodus. We're sure they'll reply us at their earliest convenience. No pressure, guys. We'll just keep calling you out every episode until you do.
Setting up the story. 2 weeks, just 2 weeks before the launch of Metro Exodus, which should mean that there's only 1 week until the release of Metro Exodus by the time of this recording. Suddenly, Metro Exodus is now an Epic Games Store exclusive on PC, despite being sold as a form of pre-order on Steam
Since August.
since August.
Since
It's
August.
August.
I'm salty even though I don't plan on buying it soon.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay, so who wants to bring their hot takes here? Because I know plenty of
Alright.
people have hot
Well-
takes about this.
First important question. What happened to the people who pre-ordered on Steam?
They will
They
get the game.
they will still get the game.
They will get the game,
Yeah,
all the
that's
DLC, all the updates, they will get there. But no new buyers can get the game until next year.
It'll be
Mm,
exclusive
heck.
until 2020.
Heck, man, heck.
Well, what's in 2020? That's what Mahadev was talking about. It's when you get Metro Exodus on Steam.
And okay, publisher is Deep Silver. Deep Silver also publishes Homefront. Homefront predicted Mahathir is in
Malaysia,
power.
Canada.
This is all connected.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
Only the best conspiracy theories on dia.log, the Gamer Matters podcast.
Okay, but yes, so yeah, hot takes, everyone, go.
I heard this wasn't like the choice of the devs, but the publisher to do
True.
this.
Yep, deep.
Yes.
Coach Media, basically.
How do you pronounce it? Coach, eh?
Kosh.
I pronounce it Coach.
Coach? Coach?
Kosh.
Coach?
Kosh.
Cock?
I think
think
it's
Kosh.
pronounced like German light.
Ah,
I don't know.
I've heard cock.
It's
K-O-C-H,
like
K.
Heckler and Kosh. It's like the weapon maker.
Ah,
Oh,
and
that's
Kosh,
pronounced
Asian
Kosh.
King.
I pronounce it
Kosh.
Heckler and Cock.
same.
I know it sounds
I-
inappropriate, but
I originally pronounced it Heckler and Cock.
Oh, with a ho, yeah. Cock.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Heckler and Cock.
Okay, semantics. So yeah, it's not the choice of the developers.
But
And-
they are under fire too.
Yeah,
And
one
even
developer.
the THQ Nordic, which is apparently they say the sister company, right? But I
Yeah,
think
there
Yeah.
is their sister company, and
But
they're
I-
just like nah.
but I think THQ and basically the Lich King and Deep Silver is the underling.
Okay.
They are all
Yeah,
together. But even the Lich King says no, we have no say on that. Let them do. That's their IP. But
This
for
is their problem.
everybody's distancing themselves from this.
1 year time. Wait, wasn't there like an interview with like one of the people in the game as well who he kind of essentially threw a bit of a tantrum about this?
Oh, you mean the
I can't
translated
remember.
one? Yeah.
Mm. No, as
Uh,
a result of all of this commotion, people people online were really upset about this. If you look at the announcement page, if you look at the tweet announcing this deal on the Metro Exodus Twitter account, a lot of the replies are all mostly on the negative side of things. Understandable. Some are very on the reacting on very inappropriate ways. The games Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light has been review bomb on Steam.
Yep.
Out of this, out of
Yep.
spite,
Guys, don't do that.
don't do that. And
Mm.
that leads to the one of the developers' reaction, the tantrum.
oh yeah. If
You
we
see, this is what you do. You review bomb the old game, right?
yep.
Next thing you know, Metro Exodus is going to be Overwatch Fortnite. That's
Nah,
Okay.
more like they're not going to release it on PC at all.
Battle Royale.
that's actually what they said, right?
Yep, that's actually what they said. We won't release it on PC if there's a next Metro game.
But they double back on that note, right? After that, they announced
I
that
think
PC,
so.
they'll
That one
still
is
be releasing on
just
PC.
the developer. Just threaten one developer.
That's the
Mm.
developer tantrum saying, "Oh, we'll not be releasing on PC because of all this commotion." Yeah, it's a lot of bad things happening at the same time. I mean, how do you put this? I can understand from Deep Silver's perspective on getting the Epic deal. Because of
Mhm.
course, as we all know, Epic has the big V-Bucks right now. They have the
Yep.
money. They have the cash money right now.
real money, not Jeff Bucks. Real money.
And by And as we all know, Deep Silver has not been in a good state right now. Their last big AAA game, Agents of Mayhem, to put it
Ah,
lightly, bombed.
Bomb.
yeah.
And their next after that was like Dhaka, which also bombed. So
They don't have
Desperate
any
for
good
money.
games. They are desperate. It really is totally understandable. Which also leads to the other point. If you go on PS Store Asia on PS4, the game is unreasonably priced. Unreasonably priced.
330. Yikes.
Yeah, 30 ringgit.
333 smackaroos. For context, 60 USD games usually translates to around 220 to 240 ringgit, around that range. So this is 100 more.
No, this is 100 ringgit.
Is it like some
30%.
kind of special edition?
This
Nope,
is the
it's
standard.
Standard.
Nope.
The gold edition is 400.
470.
Okay, this
Triple A
has to
price.
be this has to be an error because the only games I know that standard edition online are like 300 ringgit are Japanese titty games. So either Metro Exodus is way more interesting than I thought, or there's some kind of error going on here.
I already sent an email asking them. They
Yeah.
didn't reply yet.
Imagine if, let's say, the likes of Ubisoft or EA doing that. Imagine the backlash.
Mm.
You
But
know
he-
EA's thought about it.
Yeah, but they can't because they would know their stock would just tank. The
They know
moment they
better.
announce it, yeah, they know
They
better.
know better.
I mean, they know better. That's why they release Epic Legends on announcement.
Nah.
That's how
So
self-aware they are. They
Hmm.
know they are bad. They know.
300 ringgit for an open world single player game. Why?
Can you change region and buy from US or something?
Yes, you can, but
Then you lose your account, or you
no,
have to
you can use that because I already bought some games in the US store and it runs fine on my Asia and my account. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. Just
So,
set up another account to buy it. Basically. So yeah, it's very weird. I mean, I'm okay with Epic getting this sort of exclusives because they want to compete with Steam. I understand that. But the issue right now I have personally is the timing.
yeah, the
doing it
timing is
so close. Like
fucking
that's a lot of money has changed hands to do it that last minute.
Even compared to the Division 2, we mention it, it goes on. We just mention it and it passes by with nothing to talk about because okay, fine, you want to go to Epic Game Store, sure. We're okay with that, I guess. We'll see if it performs, but we have no ill will because it's not like Metro Exodus where people are already buying or pre-ordering that game. People already believe that the game will be launching on the platform of their choice, and then suddenly poof, gone. It's weird, man. It's weird.
That's
really weird. Yeah, update on that PS4 price for the US one. For their day one edition, we include the season pass now, $60. So 240 ringgit. So, what is this bullshittery?
I think there's anime titties in the game. It's the only
They
So why is
hid- they
it
hid
special
it.
box
Special
on
for
the
Asian
PS4,
version.
Malaysian version?
For the C region.
it's secretly uncensored Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Scarlet.
Yes.
For Malaysians.
So you buy 2 games in one. So hey, it's a good deal lah.
Yeah, that's a good deal, but Talon game no.
It's unfortunate, man, because what we've seen so far from Metro Exodus, it should be another good game. It should be another hit on the ballpark.
Yeah.
Should be another home run. I don't think anything going to be bad for this game. But here we are.
I just
The
hope
games of-
the sale of that game is so low on Epic Store, they decide to launch it earlier on
Maybe.
Oh yeah,
Steam Store.
that's
with the 6
one thing.
months.
1 year is so fucking long, like in game
6
terms.
months, yeah. Why not 6 months at least?
Like even 6 months, I would say is extreme. Like
Mm.
6 months is you fucked my wife kind of time. Like,
Oh,
Imagine people just forget about this game all over. Just
Yeah,
over the
that's
course of
what's
one
going
year.
to happen.
Huh.
That's what's going to happen. It's no one is that loyal to Gaben that they're going to say, no, I'm not gonna download the Epic Game Store.
I'm gonna refund.
I'm gonna wait a whole year, and then I'm gonna buy it, and everyone has forgotten about it by now.
And
Yeah, and
nobody's
wo-
playing multi with me.
The worst part is it'll probably be on sale on the Epic Game Store before the.
it'll be on sale, and then 1 year on, it'll be full price on Steam.
Again, oh,
Game of the Year
God.
version.
Yeah, probably they put in DLC and stuff like that, lah, but still. I wish it was made, the deal was done earlier. Is all I wish.
I think that's what
Yeah.
everybody wishes.
I mean, we would have been talking about it if it's not like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I feel like everybody just felt like they were pulled a fast one, you know?
yeah.
So yeah.
Also, can I say one more thing? For the price of the Malaysian version of Metro, you can buy in the US version. You can buy both Metro and Far Cry New Dawn.
Let's see, for 330 ringgit, you could buy a lot of shit.
Yeah, you can buy 2 new games.
You can buy 10 of Metro 2033, which is on sale right now.
Yeah,
You can buy a FreeSync monitor.
yeah. That's...
No, seriously, if Metro Exodus bums you out and you haven't tried out Metro, go buy on PS4 Metro 2033 Redux and Metro Last Light Redux. Those are like
Metro Redux, good. Not they went away with the 2033.
some sort of Redux edition. There are 2 games there. I know there are 2 games there. I'll put the screenshot there so people know. No, but they are like 10 ringgit or 20 ringgit, something like that. Damn cheap. Which may or not justify why Metro Exodus is way too pricey. I don't know. But there you go.
What's the price conversion? 330 to USD.
81.
81.
Yeah.
So for
Almost 100
78
bucks.
or 78 USD, you can get the standard edition of Dead or Alive Extreme 3 PlayStation 4. That's cheaper than.
Cheaper.
Yeah, I
some
told you,
titties.
animated games are supposed to be the expensive ones.
And on that note,
You're buying premium for this.
no, please listen. On that note, we should end we should end this podcast. It's been too long.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Ooh, Charles.
By now you should be hitting the 2-hour mark. Oh boy, that was one hell of a hell of an episode. And we still haven't figured out the thumbnail. Except Sora.
Sora taking a
Outro
selfie.
Outro.
Davy Jones in an F1 car.
Yes.
Oh, Claptrap, don't forget, and some mangoes.
Ah, yes.
I'll accept mangoes. Why Claptrap?
Ooh.
What
Oh, he
happened?
put something in the chat.
What happened? Did we talk about Claptrap or something?
No,
We
we
talked
talk
about
about
Borderlands at
robots.
one point.
I mean,
We talk about robots.
Oh no, the
Like,
chatty robot.
put
Yeah,
Chappie.
the Chappie robot.
Put the,
Yeah,
Pathfinder.
Chappie robot.
put Pathfinder. Sure, yeah.
Put a Malu at the boss too.
Oh,
But
but
you
you
have no
replace
Pathfinder.
replace the screen in Pathfinder's chest with Rip Titanfall.
Oh yes.
No more Titanfall 3.
That's a good
Oh,
one.
suck it. So yeah, we have Pathfinder, we have Rip Titanfall, we have
Davy Jones
Scroll
in an
through.
F1 car. Well,
Jones in an
some-
F1 car. We have
Some boy selfie.
something about good Mass Effect Andromeda. And oh no, you can put that on the screen instead of Rip Titanfall. You can put good Mass Effect Andromeda equals shit Warframe.
It won't fit on the screen though, but I'll put it somewhere else.
And we'll figure out somewhere to put it. Then
Just put it on the list. Just figure it out whether you can put it.
Ah, boy. So many work to be done. But before we move on and wrap things up, let's just have our final words and some social links plugins. Starting with
Farid. No,
What?
Farid. Guess first.
Huh? What?
What?
All right. So final words. Thank you for having me, even though I talked about a 4-year-old game.
No, we all are about the timeliness of coverage, games coverage. Don't worry. People come
The
for our
best one
timeless.
would be
But I could give my input on more about the tech stuff as well.
I think Anan is
Uh,
very glad to have someone to talk to about tech stuff.
yep.
After so long.
I speak the eldritch truth and nobody understands.
Nani the heck?
Yeah,
Eh.
it's like whenever I say talk about tech stuff, all people hear is static.
Interesting.
At least I learned the Morse code. I understand a bit.
Oh, jellybean rendering. That's what we need to have as well.
Perfect.
Jellybean.
Perfect.
Oh yeah. Social media plugs. I don't much talk about gaming or tech, but I do draw a lot. And you
Just like the
can
most of us.
well, it's
I'm
mine
drawing
has
too.
less anime titties, so.
Oh, don't worry. That's just Irham. He's the only one that.
Well, it says a lot because I only know Irham most from here, and all I've seen is just anime titties.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take it like a
Not
champ.
exactly the best impression.
But yeah, on Twitter I'm Faridix, which is spelled Farid EACS, which is also my Instagram, and I pretty much put all my links over there as well. But yeah,
Mhm.
who's next?
Okay. So hello, you you can follow me on Twitter at Wamirul, WAMIRUL. Chuck me money long term at Patreon, patreon.com/Wamirul. Chuck me money short term at coffee.com/Wamirul. I'm in the middle of assignment hell, so paintings have been slow, but eventually they should pick up again. Looking into making some more like time-lapse shit and stuff. I did a Kingdom Hearts thing the other day because I couldn't sleep because I've been playing Kingdom Hearts all day. So check all that out. And Daniel, go.
Okay, you can follow me on Twitter at Flaky, FL4KY_. I'll be talking about cars, F1 cars, since it will be the launch week next week. So, yay, cars and memes. So, Anan,
Again, I don't care about social media. I only browse Reddit.
hi. So, Irham,
Okay, follow me on Twitter. I post regularly. You see my retweets, my tweets, beware. Make sure your parents is not around you and you're not on what's that thing called? Outside of your house when browsing the internet with me on your following list.
Don't browse his Twitter in masjid or in public.
Haram.
Haram.
God damn.
I mean that's true, but in this context.
It's true, but you shouldn't say it.
Alright, Mike.
And I have been Namirul Macronos Ashraf, and before I have to go, Farid, I have to apologize. Somehow someone played around with the Discord name, and apparently I'm seeing that there have been some unpleasant names being put on your tag for some while on the video feed. So apologize to that. That's a long time that the word S has been displayed without no one noticing. I'm
Nope,
sorry,
not
Farid. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I noticed. It's just I know the general level of maturity for this kind of group, you know?
Yeah, but
Ouch, I feel insulted. I feel like I was just insulted.
Alright, time
To be fair though, like,
Irham
there's-
in the stick.
no, on the video feed it went too long. I noticed it's already changed on our side of the Discord, but on the video feed it keeps on displaying way too long than I wanted, so apologies in advance. And you can follow me on Twitter, MECKRONOS, Mekronos, and stay tuned for Wam's review of Kingdom Hearts 3 on GamerMatters.com.
Oh yeah, that's a thing that's coming. That's coming out soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be out by the time this goes up.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
If not, I will follow up until the end because we need to show that review. And stay tuned for some impressions of Wargroove and maybe other beta/demos that we have been playing.
Devil May Cry 5!
Yes, we shall talk it in somewhere, in some form later, but not here. We have to end this. This has been too long. Thank you for your time, staying and listening until the 2-hour mark. Thank you for your support. Share around this podcast. And yes, we do read the comments. I know we know about Boruto's dad, but we don't know much about the other thing.
I forgot about that. To that commenter, you don't know Naruto. You don't know Boruto at all. It's Boruto's dad. He doesn't have a name. They kept it anonymous so that you can feel like Boruto. Like he can be anyone, you know.
That's the
You don't understand.
That's the download the Gamer
Bye.
Matters podcast. We keep on cross talking until the end. Have a good day, everyone.
Alright, so now we're done.